massive Julius Randle contract extension update, as the New York Knicks will not be giving him an extension instantly once he's eligible, and also some within the Knicks organization want to trade Julius, and we are going to break all this down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video as we always do. So let's do just that, guys. Ian Begley recently did one of his mailbags where he answers fan questions just on what's going on with the team, what's the future holding, and what he knows about things. And when talking about Julius Randle, he had a lot to say, including this right here, which essentially he said, others are concerned about Randle going into this pivotal season with free agency looming, and the challenges that may present itself. In addition, some decision makers aren't as bullish about the general fit of the current group, meaning Julius Randle specifically. He's eligible for an extension on August 3rd. It could be as long as 4 years and for as much as $185 million. Extension talks aren't at the forefront either for the Knicks or for Julius Randle, and gives a bit more of insight in this, saying that the Knicks played well in January when OG was there and Randle was healthy, and based off that, it seems like they'll start the season with the same group intact to see if it works, and they'll kind of assess the results before they consider making a major trade like moving Randle, as he knows what it takes to win in New York, and it's part of the reason he signed here in 2019. Randle sees this group as having a chance to win the NBA Finals, and he wants it badly. Now, I love all of this because here's the thing. Julius Randle came here when no one else would. He was the first one to start this culture change, and it has been absolutely phenomenal the way that we have seen the New York Knicks evolve since Randle got here. Yeah, the first season was rough, 2019-2020. He was not really playing well when Fizdale was coaching because he had Randle playing some point forward role, which is not Randle's role. He's a power forward. He should be on the low block. Yeah, he's a phenomenal passer for a power forward, but he's not a point forward. There's a difference. And the thing with Julius Randle is once that Fizdale got fired and Mike Miller came in, Randle started putting up 20 points per game. He still couldn't shoot. Worked super hard in the offseason. As Marlon Kraft said, putting work in the pandemic like Julius Randle, because Julius went into that pandemic and came out a completely different player. He became an All-NBA player. He became an All-Star, and things looked so great. They made the NBA playoffs for the first time in 8 years behind Julius. Then the next year he doesn't play as well. The next 2 years, Julius has been an All-Star. Obviously, he got injured, so he didn't get to play in the All-Star game this year. But a three-time All-Star would be a three-time All-NBA player if he did not get a season-ending injury on his shoulder in January at the end of the month, running into Jaime Jaquez Jr. But here's the deal. Where Julius stands right now, it seems like he's cool without taking this contract extension. Maybe he wants to explore free agency and actually consider leaving the Knicks. I don't really think that's likely. I think he's happy in New York. He lives in Manhattan. He's not one of those guys living in Westchester. So he clearly loves New York. His family loves New York. They're as much of New Yorkers as anyone, even if Julius is from Dallas. I don't want to see the Knicks move Julius. And I don't understand why there's people within the Knicks organization worrying about the fit. What, is Brunson supposed to be the one scorer on the Knicks who's an all-star level scorer? I don't think it's a good idea. When you have Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, two guys who are excellent role players, why would you also not want two all-stars in Brunson and Randle? Especially when you look at Mikal, when you look at OG, both of them shoot above 40% from the corner. Same thing with Dante DiVincenzo as the team's sixth man, whoever he subs out first, probably one of Mikal or OG, and then I'd assume it's Mikal, and then have Mikal come back in kind of early and kind of lead the second unit offensively with Devo. But when you look at what the Knicks are doing, Randle fits this team perfectly. It's the most spacing he's ever going to have in his NBA career, and year 10. The problem with 2022, when the Knicks missed the playoffs, is Randle had no spacing to work with. He honestly didn't in 2021 either, but he was shooting 40% from three for some reason. Hasn't recovered from that. Probably never will. Is probably an anomaly of a shooting year. But he doesn't have to shoot 40% from three. When you have a bunch of guys who are capable of doing it, when you have one of the best players in the NBA in Jalen Brunson, Randle does not need to shoot 40% from three. He's a fine mid-range scorer. He's excellent in the low block. The way that Mitch grabs offensive rebounds and can kind of sit in that dunker spot, it will create openings for Randle to score in the paint. It's going to do that. And with that being the case, I don't see any reason why the Knicks should try to trade Randle if it's a fit consideration. Randle fits with the Knicks. He fits with the Knicks as better as he ever will, because if you can't double him anymore. If you have Mitch in the dunker spot on the right side, Mitch is a righty. Randle in the left low block, working to score inside. And then Brunson, Mikal, and OG, or Brunson and any mix of DiVincenzo or OG, or even Devo replacing Brunson at times. you have three elite shooters around Julius. Wouldn't that make sense, considering Julius is the passer that he is? I don't understand why anyone is like, oh, well, the Knicks should trade Julius Randle. He doesn't fit with this team. He fits with this team more than he's ever fit with the Knicks at any point in his entire life, especially with the Knicks. He didn't fit as well as this Knicks team would. Like, looking on paper, this is the best Julius has ever fitted on an NBA team in general. The Lakers didn't have the spacing that Randle could have needed to be better. The Pelicans didn't have the spacing. The Knicks didn't until last season when he got injured, and they brought in OG. Because even when RJ was starting, RJ wasn't a consistent shooter from three. No shade towards RJ. I'm rooting for him. One of my favorite players in the NBA. Always will be. But here's the deal. Why? Why would they think now that Randle doesn't fit? That seems so backwards and dumb to imagine that. I just don't understand that thought process whatsoever. And Begley kind of continued on and basically said, that's partially why an extension isn't at the forefront right now, because of Randle's understanding that the importance of adding a backup center to the roster is just more pivotal than him signing an extension. He knows how important it is for Leon Rose and the front office to spend their time finding that backup big and building the best roster possible. When Julius came to the Knicks in 2019, he said this on multiple podcasts. Recently, he was on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, Mello's and Mero's podcast, where he kind of talked about joining the Knicks. He's like, I saw what would happen if you win in New York. I wanted to be a part of that, so I came here. I wanted to help turn this team around, and he absolutely did. Randle wants to win a finals with the Knicks, and something about this Knicks team is, whatever the world may think, whatever I may think, I think they're an NBA Finals contender. I think a lot of Knicks fans feel that way. I think NBA fans around are kind of still disrespecting the Knicks because it's easier to imagine the Knicks being bad for the masses of NBA fans who saw them as a terrible team for 8 straight years. The Knicks believe that they are an NBA Finals contender. There is no doubt in my mind the Knicks believe they can win the NBA Finals this season. I kind of agree with that. I think they absolutely can. I think if they're healthy, they are the biggest threat to the Boston Celtics of either team in either conference. I think the 76ers are going to fall apart because, let's be honest, are Embiid and Paul George actually going to be healthy at the same time? And is Paul George actually going to be good in the playoffs? I don't think so. I think one of those things is bound to not happen. That either Paul George is good or Joel and Paul George are both healthy. Don't see either of those happening. One of them's not going to. And the 76ers, well, they're going to lose in the second round. I'm liking the zooming in thing right now. I'm having fun with it. But look, here's the deal, guys. I really don't think the Knicks should even entertain moving Julius unless it's for such a good package that you can't say no. I don't know what that package is because I think Julius fits perfectly with this team. I want to keep Julius Randle. I think he's a key to beating the Boston Celtics because no one on that team can guard him. What are you going to stick Porzingis on him and have Jason Tatum just get absolutely assaulted on the offensive rebounds by Mitchell Robinson? No, you're not going to do that. And Porzingis is the only one with a hope of guarding Julius Randle. Tatum's not strong enough. Brown's not big enough. Drew's not big enough. Derek White is obviously not big enough. There's no one on the Celtics to guard Julius Randle. There's no one on the 76ers to guard Julius Randle. Paul George is not big enough. There's no reason why the Knicks should move him. This is a perfect fit for the Knicks. They were clearly missing him in the playoffs so much. They needed his scoring. They needed his physicality. They needed that consistent down-low bucket. They needed those 24 points per game. And speaking of those 24 points per game, let's take a look at Julius's numbers real quick. Last season, he put up 24 points and 9 rebounds with 5 assists. Shot 47% from the field and 31% from 3. Those field goal numbers were climbing at the time of his injury. Now, he shoots 52% on corner threes because he doesn't really shoot too many corner threes, but it shows he can hit them. He doesn't shoot too many threes. This is the lowest percentage of threes he's shot in a long time because he realized, I'm not a shooter, I'm a down-low scorer. I'm going to use the fact that I'm a human version of a pickup truck and body through people the way I know I can. He's not shooting the pull-up threes as much anymore. Most of them are catch and shoot when he's shooting threes. This is the version of Julius Randle that will help the New York Knicks behind Jalen Brunson and with that Nova Knicks team and with the plethora of great talent around it, such as Mitchell Robinson and Deuce McBride also, and even Keita Bates-Diop, which will help this team win an NBA Finals. I think it's likely they could win the Finals, and the Knicks certainly believe it. Don't screw with a good thing. Randle's important for the culture. He's great for the chemistry. Do not move that man. Keep him and win the Finals. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Let me know what you think. Should the Knicks move Julius? Why should they not move Julius? And if you think they should, well, you're probably wrong, but let me know why. I'll get back to you in the comments. Have a great day, guys, and go Knicks!